dear learner on the platform The MOOCs. I'm Professor Nafis Ahmed Ansari from Department of Political Science of Aligarh Muslim University. Today we are going to learn about the France. A historical perspective is the first thing that we should understand when we try to understand the features of the present administration in France. The present administration in France has evolved over the centuries, reflecting the nation's dynamic historical trajectory that has been happened in the past. One of the salient features in the enduring influences of the Napoleon Code established by Napoleon Bonaparte in the early 19th century. This legal framework has left an indelible mark on the personal administration, emphasizing principles of equality, meritocracy, and the centralized bureaucracy. Additionally, the France Revolution of 1789 was a pivotal in the shaping the administrative landmarks and promoting liberty, equality, and fraternity that is an ideals was in the 1789 revolutions, establishing a civil services system known as the function of public, FONCTION public, further underscores the commitment to the professionalism and impartiality within the personal administration. Over time, there has been a gradual shift towards the decentralization with the creation of a regional and local entities. While the principles of social solidarity and a comprehensive welfare state has been integral to the French administrative ethos, these historical influences resonate in the contemporary present administration, shaping its distinctive characteristics with the French administrative system. In this lecture, we will explore the salient features of the present administration in France, focusing on the historical periods, institutional, and influential figures. First, what we have seen, there is a centralized roots in the ancient regime, pillars of the French personal administration. Much like a majestic oak, the French system of personal administration draws its strength from the deep roots embedded in the soil of the ancient regime that is from the 15th to 18th century. This era, marked by the absolute monarchy, laid down the ground floor work for the centralized hierarchical structure that is characterized in the French governance today. Let's develop into these pivotal historical development. The royal power and the king intendant is the first area that has to be looked after. As the heart of the ancient regime was the concept of absolute monarchy, where the king reigned supreme. He relied on the network of an appointed officials known as intendant to the control his vast kingdom effectively. These individuals served as the king's eyes and ears in the provinces, overseeing everything from the tax collections and justice to infrastructure and economic development. Second, what we find, the building blocks of a centralized state. The intendant wielded considerable power, acting as a minimum monarchs with their assigned territories. They implemented royal decrees, managed local finances, and even held judicial authority. This system, while efficient in my eyes, also fueled the resentment of among powerful local nobles who saw their influences wane. Third part, that part we find here from feudal patchwork to the uniformity. Before the rise of independent, France was a patchwork of the feudal territories with varying laws and customs. The centralization efforts of the American regime that we find, we say that ancient regimes aimed to create a more uniform system of governance and ensuring consistent application of the royal policies across the kingdom. Next area, that is the legacy endures. While the ancient regime eventually ended with the French revolutions, its impact on the present administration remains profound. The centralized structure emphasizes on uniformity and appointed officials laid to the foundation of a bureaucratic system that continues to operate in France today. Other area that we find in the historical perspective is the beyond centralization importance nuances. It is important to remark that the centralization under the Asian regime was flexible. Provinces known as the Pays Diets retained some autonomy, negotiating tax levies and maintaining certain local privileges. These regional variations added complexity to the historical picture. Understanding the role of the Asian regime in shaping French personal administration is crucial for appreciating the system's evolution and ongoing influence. The centralized roots of established during this period continues to serve as a cornerstone of the French governance even as the system adapts to meet the challenges of the modern era. Further, when we go through the Napoleon's grand design shaping efficiency in French administration, we find that the Napoleon Bonaparte, synonymous with the ambitions and modernizations, left an indelible mark on the French personal administration. His grand design for a streamlined and efficient bureaucracy ushered in a new era, profoundly impacting the system for centuries. Let's dissect the key elements of these transformations. Number one, we find from monarchy to empire. Following the French revolutions, Napoleon carved his path to power, eventually establishing the first French empire, that is in 1804 to 1814. He recognized the need for a competent and efficient administrative apparatus to control his vast domain. Second, that it is streamlining the system. The pre existing administrative structure inherited from the Asian regime could have only more convenient and efficient. Napoleon embarked on a series of reforms, establishing a hierarchical bureaucracy with clearly defined roles and responsibilities. The emperors that we find that the perfect mastermind of the local affairs was the third area that is been there in the Napoleon regime. At the heart of the Napoleon system stood the perfect appointed by the central government to oversee each department, that the French administrative divisions. Perfect exercised considerable authority, managing everything from the infrastructure and public services to tax collections and law enforcement. Further, there is a meritocracy, the new mantra. Unlike the Asian regime's reliance on the patronage, Napoleon campaigned meritocratic principles. Civil servants were often chosen through rigorous examinations based on their skills and qualifications. This aimed to attract talented and individual and combat corruption. Further, the code of Napoleon and unified principle, the fifth area that is being taken care. Napoleon introduced the code Napoleon, a large framework governing various aspects of the French life, including administrative procedures to ensure uniformity and clarity. This standardized approach aimed to streamline bureaucratic processes and promote fairness. Further, there was impact beyond borders. Napoleon's administrative reforms transformed France and influenced government throughout Europe and beyond. His model, emphasizing efficiency and centralization, became a benchmark of many aspiring modern states. Seven area that we find is the efficiency with a caveat. While Napoleon reforms undeniable enhanced bureaucratic efficiency, Some argue it came at the cost of reduced local autonomy and increased central control. Additionally, concerns of elitism emerged during the emphasis on the meritocratic recruitment. In eighth area that we find is the enduring legacy. Despite its limitation, Napoleon's system laid down the foundation for the modern French administration, centralized structure, professional bureaucracy, and the rule of law remain defining feature of the system today. The rise of grandes écoles and elite training. The French system of the personal administration, renowned for its efficiency and meritocratic ethos, owes a significant debt to its elite training institutions. The Grand Écoles, with these rigorous academic standards and selective admissions practices, these prestigious institutions have long served as a crucible for the generation of French top civil servants. The seeds of the Grand Écoles were sown in the Asian regimes with institutions like Écoles de Ponts et Chusses established to train engineers for crucial state infrastructure projects. Following the French Revolution, Napoleon recognized the crucial role of specialized knowledge in building modern state. Further, bolstering the role of these institutions, the École Polytechnique, established in 1794, stand as a testament to this vision. However, the École Nationale d'Administration (ENA) creation in 1945 truly cemented the Grandes Écoles' role in shaping French administration. With its rigorous entrance examinations and prestigious alumni network, the ENA becomes the gateway to top positions within the bureaucracy. While lauded for its ability to attract talented individuals, this metrocratic approach also draw criticism for perpetuating elitism and limiting social mobility. Despite these critics, the impact of the Grands Écoles on the French administration cannot be overstated. These graduates have filled top positions within the civil services, contributing the system's reputations for efficiency and competence. Further, the model of Grands Écoles have transcended national borders, inspiring similar institutions around the world. However, the landscape of the Grands Écoles is not statistic. It is been very clear that it is not static. In recent years, efforts has been made to diversify the students' body and broaden curriculum to address contemporary challenges faced by the public administration. The inclusion of disciplines like environmental management and international relation reflects the evolving needs of a globalized world. The rise of the Grand Écoles and their enduring influence on French personal administration tells a compelling story of elite training, metrocracy, and adaptation. As France navigates the complexity of the 21st century, these institutions undoubtedly continues to play a crucial role in shaping the future of its public sector. For next that we find is that the French personal administration post a period after this is the area that we are going to cover, which is of the Second World War. Aftermath of the World War II, that is the period of World War II. The period profound transformation for the French personal administration, characterized by reconstruction, modernization, and adoption to evolving societal and global conditions. Here are some key features that shaped this area. First, reconstruction and modernization. Marshall Plan impact. The influx of the American aid under the Marshall Plan fueled rapid economic growth and infrastructure development. Modernizing public services and building a welfare state, that is security social, became top priorities. Decentralization efforts to develop power from the central government to the regional and the local authorities gained momentum, aiming for greater efficiency and responsiveness to the local needs. The second is the evolving civil service. ENA diversification, the prestigious Ecole National de Administration broadened its curriculum beyond law and in finance and incorporating social sciences and public management disciplines. This reflects the changing demands of the complex administrative landscape. Next is the technocratic rise. The meritocratic selections through competitive examination solidified the role of technocrats in the civil services. Concerns about the potential elitism and disconnect from the political accountability emerged as a counterparts. Then it was European integrations, regulation harmonization. France membership in the in European Union necessitated alignment of with the UA regulations, EU European Union regulations and legal frameworks impacting various aspects of the public administration. Policy changes. New policy domains like migrations and environmental concerns arose, requiring adoptions and collaborations at the European level. The fourth that we found technological revolutions. Digitalization wave, the rise of information technology transformed public service delivery. With online platforms and digital data management becoming increasingly prevalent, tackling the digital divided to the ensure equitable access became a crucial challenge. Fifth one is continuous adaptations. Balancing efficiency and responsiveness. Striking a balance between efficiency or efficient service delivery and adaptable citizen centralized governance remained constant aim. Trust and transparency, other area. Building public trust through transparency and accountability initiatives became increasingly important in the light of evolving societal expectations. 21st century challenges. The French personal administration continues to grapple with the navigating complex issues like climate change, demographic shift, and social inequalities, requiring ongoing adoptions and innovations. The post World War II period witnessed a dynamic transformation of the French personal administration, propelled with the reconstruction, modernization, and the demands of a globalized world. The ongoing quest for efficiency, responsiveness, and adaptations continues to shape the system as it strives to navigate the challenges, opportunities of 21st century. The above overview unveiled the tapestry of the French personal administration through its historical journey. Now let's zoom in on specific threads. When we try to zoom it on the specific threads, exploring them in a greater details to shed light on the intricacies and the nuisance of this dynamic system. The specific historical events and development when we try to trace, then we find the first, the Popular Front 1936. This landmark period saw major advancement in the work rights, including paid holidays, a 40 hours work week and collective bargaining rights. This reform led to foundation for France's strong social society net and emphasized on employee well-beings. The May 1968 protests, students and worker unrest during this period led to the further reforms, including increased minimum wages, reduced working hours, and greater union rights. These protests highlighted the importance of dialogue and social justice in French labor relations. The decentralization of the labor relation 1982 onwards. This ongoing process had shifted some decision making power from the national to the regional and local levels, allowing for more tailored solutions to specific economic and social context. However, concerns remain about the ensuring consistency and protecting national standards. Evolution of the labor laws and regulations is a very important part to understand. The French Labor Code, this comprehensive code regularly updated, governs all the aspects of the government, contrast working conditions, social security, and employees' rights. It provides a clear framework for employees and employees alike. Modernization of part-time work. Over time, regulations has been introduced to improve part-time workers' working conditions and career prospects, addressing concerns about their vulnerability and limited access to the benefits. The right to disconnect. The recent legislation acknowledges the need for work life balance in the digital age, granting employees the right to disconnect from the work emails and call outside working hours. This reflects a growing awareness of the impact on the technology and employees' well being. When we try to study the case studies of successful workplace practices, Sodexo's employees ownership model, the multinational catering companies gives employees voting rights and partial ownership, fostering engagement and responsibilities and increasing productivity and satisfaction. Airbus focus on continuous learning. This aerospace giant invests heavily in the employees' training and development, ensuring high skilled workforce and adaptability to technology advancement. Danone's emphasis on work life balance. This food and beverage company offers flexible work arrangements, parental leave policies, and employees' well being programs, demonstrating a commitment to employees' well being and attracting top talent. There are certain challenges and opportunities in this digital age. The rise of the gig economic. Platforms like Uber and Deliveroo raises questions about the work protections, social security contributions, and collective bargaining rights in the non-traditional employment models. Balancing innovations and safeguards workers' right is a challenge. Remote work and data privacy. As a remote work gains traction, concern rises about the data security, employees monitoring and maintaining social connections with team, adapting regulations promoting responsible practices as are crucial. Skill development for digital era. Automation and new technologies necessitate continuous skill of development and training programs to ensure workers remain employable in a rapid changing landscape. Comparative analysis with other countries, when we see, then we find France versus US. In this comparison, the France emphasis on social security and strong worker protection contrast to USA. More flexible system, limited national safety net. However, the US often boosts greater entrepreneurial activities and faster market adoptions. France versus Germany. Both countries share a focus on work coordinations and apprenticeship programs, but Germany's dual vocational training system is more renowned, while France excels on the comprehensive social security system. Then France, the Scandinavia, Nordic countries tend to have even strong social safety nets and more equitable income contributions than France, but their labor market can be less flexible. In conclusion, we say that a tapestry in the constant evolution. The intricate tapestry of the France Fresnel administration reveals a system marked by the historical legacies, continuous evolutions, and adaptations to the new challenges. Understanding its salient features, both strengths and weakness, it is crucial for navigating the complexities of the labor relations in France and beyond. As the digital age weaves its new thread into the tapestry, ongoing collaboration, proactive policy adoptions, and commitment to the social justice will be vital in ensuring future where French workers can thrive amidst technological transformations and economic shift. Thank you very much.